I want to talk to you about life. It's just too difficult to be alive, isn't it? And try to function. I mean, there were all these people to deal with. I tried to buy a can of tuna fish in the supermarket, and there was this person standing right in front of where I needed to reach to grab the tuna fish. I waited to see if they'd move, and they didn't. And they were looking at the tuna fish too, but they were taking a really long time with it, reading the ingredients like it was some sort of book. A pretty boring book if you ask me, but nobody has. So I waited, and they didn't move, and I thought about asking them to move, but they just seemed so stupid not to have sensed that I needed to get by them. And I had this awful fear that it would do no good at all to ask them to move. They'd probably turn around and say something like, "We'll move when we're goddamn ready, nagging bitch." And then what would I do? So I started to cry out of frustration, quietly so not to disturb anyone. Even though I was softly sobbing, this person still didn't grasp that I needed to get by them. So I reached over with my fist and I brought it down real hard on his head and I said, "Would you kindly move, asshole?" The person fell to the ground. They were totally startled. And then this child nearby started to cry, and I was still crying, and I couldn't imagine making use of the tuna fish now anyway, so I shouted at the child to stop crying. I mean, it was drawing way too much attention to me. And then I ran out of the supermarket. And I thought, I'll just take a taxi to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Because I needed to be surrounded by culture right now, not tuna fish.